What's going on YouTube? Hayden back making another brand new Crypto TV episode. In today's video, we will be looking at Litecoin, Bitcoin, Ethereum, as well as Verge to Bitcoin. If you guys are new to the channel, please make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications, as well as leave a giant thumbs up on the video. In today's episode, we are going to be talking about why the sudden small dip or decline, pullback, whatever you'd like to call it, in cryptocurrency, Litecoin, Bitcoin, Ethereum, as well as discussing the actual legitimate news about the BlackRock CEO investment into cryptocurrency futures or ETFs of that matter. So right off the bat, I'd like to just look at the coin market cap like I always do to get a general analysis before we dive into some technical analysis. As you can see, we are experiencing some slight pullback in the market. You can see the market cap currently is 289, I think that is. So it's actually not too bad of a pullback in the slightest. Not much money has left the currency. We also see that Bitcoin dominance is increasing steadily at 43.7%, which is an interesting notice. When I scroll down, you can see the top 10 coins. Majority of them are in red. And if you notice on the price graph, you can see that for the most part, Bitcoin didn't really take a pullback at all. It's mainly the other altcoins that are seeing some slight pullback. You can see the pullback in price and volume right here, which is interesting and something I'd like to go over. You can see Tether is just doing its own thing completely, but for the most part, the top 10 or top 9 coins seem to be following the same trend for the most part. So it does look quite nice. Bitcoin only at 73.60, which is quite nice to see that we are over that $7,000 barrier that we had. Ethereum down almost 5% at $481, so it was trying to break that $500 mark. It couldn't. We see Litecoin at 87, lower than its $90 high, down almost 3%. If we continue on, I want to show you guys an article basically discussing the BlackRock CEO clarifying rumors about its cryptocurrency involvement. It says right here that on July 16th, so I believe today is the 18th, July 18th, so 2 days ago, the Financial News London reported that the investment management giant BlackRock is making its first foray into the crypto industry, with news source citing insiders. According to the article, the management firm, with over 6.2 trillion US in assets under its control, could soon get involved in Bitcoin futures. Now, just off that little paragraph, we can basically draw a huge summary of it. The effects of just seeing this article, the fact that such a huge market or a huge company called BlackRock having 6.2 trillion in assets is a huge milestone for cryptocurrency. The fact that if it decides to get involved in crypto, or the fact that it's even rumored about it, is going to start some type of buy the rumor. We may see sell the news later on when it officially clarifies that it is officially buying into cryptocurrency, whether it's an ETF or some sort. But just the fact that that news and that a company of such size decides to get involved in cryptocurrency, or is at least looking at it, is some huge news for the general public and retail investors, basically allowing them to understand that crypto isn't something to be afraid of and maybe something to get involved in these futures. Another quote that they had, which I'd like to point out, was it said, when asked if BlackRock's clients want crypto exposure, Fink, seemingly rather flabbergasted by the question, stated, "No, I don't think that any client has sought out crypto exposure. I've not heard from one client who says I need to be in this." So no, nobody has exactly said that they want to get involved in crypto. So I'm not sure as to where. I guess the company overall, not their clients, are the ones that are getting involved in it. The statement means that not even the smallest fraction of funds under BlackRock's control are invested in the crypto space, making the crypto team announcement not as exciting as it was prior to the interview. But what I wanted to point out was this quote. It says, "I think something that can go up $20,000 in 1 year can have a correction down to about $6,000. I think it's definitely found a bottom, but we are one positive regulatory decision away. Maybe an ETF approved by the SEC to climbing through 20K, even 50K by the end of the year." So to break down that quote, he's basically discussing that the fact that we saw a some type of asset climb to 20K can easily, in 1 year, keep in mind, if not less than 1 year, can have a pullback to 6K. It's very possible. So for those of you who are anti-cryptocurrency and don't like that they invested at the top, this pullback, or just anti the market as a whole, to see a 20,000 coin go back to 6,000, who are maybe against that, it's possible, for something to go up that quickly, it can very well go down just as quick. Interesting enough, though, we started off Bitcoin at around 1,000, and now we're at 6K. So if you think about that, in 1 year, that's 600% gains if you bought at 1K. So that's a huge come up already. I know 20K sounds nice, but we may go higher. They also say that an ETF approved by the SEC, so basically a market or a general pool of stocks or investments or even cryptocurrency that has Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies involved in it, that is backed by the SEC. So basically guaranteeing them that if their money is stolen, lost, or gotten rid of, they have an approved backing that says that they can get their money back if anything, or if the company was hacked, they could get their money back from the SEC. So that's what that basically means. But climbing, they're saying that if they decide to invest in that, they may see the crypto climb from 20K to even 50K by the end of the year, which is a big statement considering it's July and we only have a few more months till 2019, which is crazy to begin with. But it says the market continues to move upwards despite BlackRock's clarification. So I guess originally the excitement had crypto going very high, but even with the exact clarification of them, they're still doing quite well, the markets. It says, putting a newfound lid on the BlackRock situation, the market continued to move upwards, leading some to believe that firms' involvement may not be tied to current cryptocurrency price action, which is pretty dope. As of the time press, Bitcoin is up 5%, finding stability at around 6,700 price range, and we can clearly see we're at 73, so it is a big jump, $600 jump, which is awesome. So that's definitely a cool article to talk about. I did want to point that out. Let's just jump right into some Bitcoin TA, and then we'll move on to the other top blue chip cryptos. So the reason we're seeing the pullback, hopefully it's pretty obvious just by looking at this on the daily chart. So we can see right now, I'm just zooming in, you can see the inverse head and shoulders or the reverse head and shoulders pattern that Bitcoin had right here. We broke bullish from the neckline, which is awesome to see. And we're facing resistance at the 35 and 100 day MMAs, middle moving averages. For those who want to know a little more, it's right here, the middle high low moving averages. That is a 35 and that is a 100. So you can see that those are the two price levels here. And of course, like I've said in all my videos, when we retrace back up to here, like I anticipated we would, I know a lot of you were anti that, but I knew we were going to go back up to there. We were going to face some resistance here. My goal was to shoot above and use it as support, but right now it's facing some resistance. But with the massive climb that it had, I'm really not too shocked or surprised that we're facing that. The real big reason we're seeing some pullback is if we go to the 4-hour, you can that actually looks quite nice. But that, for the main part, is why we're seeing some. Actually, I can draw that in right here where the resistance is playing a role. So you can see how right here, if I just zoom out slightly, this kind of cuts through an area of some support and resistance, just I guess some congestion within the crypto, and you can see we're kind of getting back up to that level. That's what I wanted to say. On the 4-hour, the reason we're seeing the pullback too is if you look, we are extremely overbought in this crypto right now. So a pullback is kind of necessary, if not will happen very soon. It is almost impossible to stay overbought for a long time. At least on the 4-hour, we always tend to go back down. So I'm looking to see that range kind of pull back down to that 50 area on the stochastic indicator or the relative strength indicator, and then hopefully break through that resistance level right there. But that is why we're seeing some congestion right now. So we're going to see that pullback on the 4-hour, and again, if we look on the daily, you can see we're facing resistance on the high-low MMA on the daily chart. So that is another reason why we're facing that resistance right now, that pullback. You can see we managed to break through at a little bit of that support of that resistance level, but it wasn't sustainable, so we did come back down. And again, with the line drawn that I drew on the 4-hour, you can see now a little bit more clear where that resistance and congestion is. Using it as support, it's going to start using it as resistance over here. Moving on to Litecoin, guys. I know you guys are very interested in that, to all my hodlers. I do want to point out some cool stuff to look at on Litecoin and basically explaining why the pullback. So a lot of this follows similar strengths to Bitcoin in regards to the price action and the pullback. One thing I want to point out, which is extremely bullish in my mind, is the fact that I'm going to zoom all the way out right now. You can see I have drawn a downtrend that basically started quite a whiles back, all the way back in December 22nd of 2017. It's currently July 18th, so we've had like 8 months of downtrend. You can see the trend line right here pulling back down. You can see the slight candle wicks where the resistance was. As we pull closer in, you'll notice where the trend starts to really take its shape. You can see all the resistance right here. It was not, we did manage to break up for a slight while because we were facing that resistance level right here, which is honestly what I anticipate crypto to do now. You can see we faced resistance, break above, but hopefully use it as a support level instead of back down to a resistance. But you can see the constant downtrend and resistance from that area, and we finally managed, after 8 months of downtrend, to break through that right here. You can see the downtrend right there. We managed to break up through that, which is extremely bullish in my mind. You can see where it's facing some more resistance too. You can see how right here we are facing some strong support. This line right here at $93. So extreme resistance right here. Because we're below it. It was using it as support for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 days, pretty much 9.5 days until it broke bearish from that. And you can see how we are facing that resistance right there. That's going to be a huge thing for Litecoin. If we manage to break above that, that will be very, very, very nice to see. You can see the double bottom we had, one there and one there, pushing the price back up higher. But with some slight consolidation, we should be able to break through that $93 resistance level and continue up higher, chasing that high-low MMA. When we check out the 4-hour, another reason we saw some pullback in the recent times, maybe a few hours ago, was because we were overbought right here. So price levels ranging from 88 all the way to, I guess it was, where is it, 87. So 88, 87, that region. Anything higher all the way up to 93 was extremely overbought. You can see how that was right there. It is nice to see that on the 4-hour we are pulling back down though into some normal ranges on the strength indicator. It's nice to see that we broke up through the high-low MMA and used it as support to bounce up off of that, which is very nice to see. Challenging that 93 level, pulling back down, using it this level right here as support, which you can see was extreme resistance and support in the past, so we shouldn't be able to break below there. That might be the bottom for the current price level right here at around 85-ish. To say 86, no, 85 for sure. You can see the pullback right now. It is looking quite nice. I'd like to see the green band cross over the red band, indicating a more bullish scenario. And the fact that these are pulling up right now is looking really nice, and it's basically going to help lift the price level to higher highs in the near future. So we may have found a bottom. It's nice to see that we are setting some some higher lows. You can see how each time we fall back, we go up, and then we fall back again, and we should continue that uptrend, which would be very nice. Trying not to jinx anything, knock on wood. But it definitely looks nice. You can see that we are starting to set some higher lows, which is a very bullish thing all as well. Checking out Ethereum right now. Ethereum did set a double bottom. You can see the resistance right here. I'm just going to zoom out a little more so you can get a better look-see. You can see how right here, this line right here as well, you can see that resistance acted as support right here, bounced above, and that's a nice support level going up. So we're looking for that uptrend right now, and hopefully going to find one over there, and we can see that price go all the way up to $900. Just going to get rid of these old trend lines because we don't really need them right now do we? You can see that downtrend right there. We broke out of that very nicely. You can see that we had that double bottom formation right here, and you can see the resistance that it is facing right now. But I think with some consolidation, the fact that we look very nice on the RSI, there is plenty of potential to continue higher, and I do think we are going to chase that high-low MMA and go back up to levels at around $570 very soon, so keep that in mind. Checking out on the 4-hour, you can see how you can pretty much get a good census of what exactly is happening. You can see the support it had right here. Even if we move this up a little higher, you can see the support that it had right there, bouncing up off that, breaking straight through the high-low MMA after it faced some resistance, retraced back up to that $500 level, broke through quite nicely, and you can see how we're starting to use the high-low MMA as support. You can see the retracement back up as the green band crossed over the red, and you can see how we got out of that overbought territory and entering some more equal level-headed levels on the stock RSI. Sorry for repeating myself, but it definitely looks very nice, and we are starting some higher lows here as well, so it definitely looks nice. You can see that uptrend that is slowly starting to form, and I won't draw that in until maybe a day or two from now, and we'll see if it holds true, but definitely looks nice for Ethereum as well, clearly breaking through some nice resistance levels. Let's check out Verge now to wrap things up for you guys. So we haven't checked out Verge in quite some time. I do want to draw on some support levels. You can see how right here we have one very clear. You can see the two downtrends, sorry. One right there. We could even fix this more like that, but we'll leave it right like this. And then we had a second downtrend, which we're currently on right now. Depending on how you want to draw this, we can maybe correct it to something like that. If not, we had it right here. This would be more efficient for a downtrend of this sort. So you can see how we do have these two downtrends. You can see, let's just draw in some more resistance and support levels. One being right there, and another one as we get closer in would be, let's say, right here. Okay, so it definitely is interesting to see that it breaks out of a descending triangle formation or a downtrend, and we managed to break above but faced some key resistance at this level right here. So we're kind of just channeling right in between this level right here. We're looking quite nice on the daily RSI, so that's really doesn't have anything to do with it. It's nice that we did break the downtrend, so that is a nice bullish figure too, to see that we are not continuing to fall lower. We found a nice support level right here. I don't think it will go lower. I really don't. So just with some slight consolidation, we may see that price pull back up to some areas near the high-low MMA. I'll just draw that on before we end the episode. So kind of in this region, or this box right here near the high-low MMA, I would anticipate to see this coin kind of head to this area if it manages to break above this resistance level. But otherwise, that's going to sum up the video for today, guys. If you're new, make sure to subscribe, smash that like button, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.